third quarter. LeBron James, a shot at history. LeBron stands alone. The NBA's all-time scoring record now belongs to LeBron James.
What it do, my people? This your boy FJ3000, man, back with a brand new episode of Hot Off the Press. And we got some hot news to talk about today. As we all know, LeBron James is now your all-time leading scorer in NBA history. And before I dive into this real quick, I want to say I never thought this would be done. Like, I never thought that this record, that these points would be passed. When you think about LeBron, a lot of people say, if you listen at Kevin Durant, I think a couple weeks ago, he talked about LeBron being a scorer first and then a passer second. I didn't really see that early on. I saw LeBron trying to get his team involved, trying to make the right basketball play. That's what I got from him. So I never would have thought that this record would be broken, especially by LeBron. When you don't see him take 28 to 30 plus shots a night, on average anyway. You just don't see that. You see him trying to get his team involved. But I think what make this so impressive to me and what make this so big to me is because a lot of us seen Barry Bonds when he broke Hank Aaron record. A lot of us have seen the records that Tom Brady and Serena Williams and all of these people. We've seen a lot of those records that they done, but this record right here, the reason why it's so big to me is for the simple fact the pressure that LeBron was under at a very young age. We're talking about a junior in high school on the cover of Sports Illustrated saying he's the chosen one. Like, can you imagine being 16 years old and they're saying you the chosen one? They saying you the next great at 16. Like, really put that in perspective. Really, let's look at our own young men. If some of these parents that have boys, or even when we were 16 and 17, can you really think about the pressure being on your shoulders, the weight being on your shoulders with people saying you're going to be the next this, you're going to be the next that, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And it actually happens. Like, if you really look back over LeBron's career, he's pretty much ran the NBA for a decade. He's pretty much ran the NBA for 2 decades. Matter of fact, okay, we'll put it in perspective. We'll say a decade and a half. 15 plus years of being consistent. 15 plus years of staying injury free. 15 plus years of taking care of your body. 20 years of taking care of your body and being consistent. But just imagine how this guy hasn't had any major injuries. To get to this point, we're talking about 38,300 and whatever it was, 389. That's a lot of points. And today I'm going to make my final case as to why I feel like LeBron now is the greatest basketball player of all time. That's no knock on Michael Jordan. I was one of the biggest Jordan fans ever. I used to sit up and cry when Jordan would lose a regular season game because I was that big of a fan. Now Jordan's early years, the late 80s and the early 90s, I don't remember a lot of that because I was young. But like from 94 all the way on, I remember a lot of that. I was a huge Jordan fan. And what I say about LeBron is not going to take anything away from Jordan. And I think that's what a lot of people get mixed up. They so Jordan till they really don't look at the big picture. And if you're a Jordan fan, that's fine. I was a Jordan fan. But you can't make me believe that other players that's going to come in this league are not going to do things a lot better than Jordan did. I understand he won 6 rings. He went 6-0. Great. That's an awesome accomplishment. He's the only player that has 2 consecutive three-peats. Awesome. But when I look at LeBron's resume and the weight that he had to put on his shoulders, when you're talking about first in scoring, you're talking about fourth in assists, that's mind-blowing in itself. When you first in scoring and you fourth in assists all time, 9th in 3 points made, 9th in steals. These are pretty much major categories. He in the top 10 in 4 categories. That's a case to me to be the number 1 greatest player of all time. When the Cavs came back from down 3-1 on Golden State, that was a case to me for him to be the greatest player of all time. Of course, he had help with Kyrie. Everybody had some sort of help. Whether it be Pippen, whether it be Steve Kerr, whether it be Tony Kukoc, whether it be B.J. Armstrong knocking down a shot, whether it be Luke Longley banging in the inside. Everybody has had some sort of help. These are some of the cases that I feel like puts him at the top. And that's nothing on Jordan. And here's the thing that bothers me with people, because as I look down social media and I see where you have to talk about Jordan on the night that LeBron is about to come to all-time leading scorer in NBA history. What does Jordan have to do with that? That further lets me know that Jordan is either 1A, LeBron is 1B, or LeBron is 1A and Jordan is 1B. Because people can't even celebrate or congratulate LeBron on last night without talking about Jordan. And here's some things that get me with people. Here's one of the first things I saw. Somebody said that LeBron the reason why LeBron is the all-time leading scorer is because he's played 20 years. That got to be the craziest thing I've ever heard. Because he played 20 years. How about he stayed injury-free for 20 years? How about he took care of his body for 20 years? How about his work ethic is impeccable for 20 years? How about that? Because just because you play 20 years, that don't mean you're going to be the all-time scoring leader. No, he put in the work. That's what he did. He put in the work. Or he only did the all-time scoring leader because he came straight out of high school as a baby. Really? That's what y'all gonna use? Stop it. Then I see other people saying, oh, he only got it because he's stat padding. Huh? If anybody that really know LeBron or really watch LeBron, he ain't never stat padded. Never. For the first half of his career, Everybody was hollering about, oh, he don't shoot the ball enough. He's pass first. He's pass first. Now all of a sudden, he the all-time scoring leader. He patched that. He's padding his stats. If he was padding his stats so much, he would have had the scoring title on last season in year 19. If LeBron would have played the last 2 or 3 games of last season, he would have been the scoring champion title or whatever you want to call it for last season. But he didn't play because they weren't making the playoffs. So why risk putting your body through possibly getting injured? He didn't play. If he was so big on padding stats, if he was so big on putting more on his resume, of course he want to put more on his resume, but obviously that wasn't it. He wasn't tripping on that. And if you really look at it, let's be honest, man. My dude is in year 20, 38 years old. He's still pretty much the strongest in the league. He's still pretty much the fastest because he got the most fast break points in the league this year. I mean, averaging 30. You got to think, man, LeBron playing against a bunch of young players that are really good in this league. And he's still able to hang with them young boys. At 38, averaging 30. That's just my case for him being the GOAT. That's just a few things. I don't knock nothing about Jordan. Jordan was my guy. But sometimes it's time to get up out that seat. And that's just what it is. If you're going to congratulate LeBron for history on last night, congratulate him without bringing other people up. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't a Kobe fan. I was a big Jordan fan. But I never had nothing bad to say about Kobe. I didn't like him. You know why I didn't like him? Because he was so great. And when you are great, people dislike you. People hate you. People will even call you LeBomb. Where you got that name from, I have no idea. Because if you go look at his resume, you'll see nothing on there that resembles a bomb. You just won't. And here's the awesome thing about it. Jordan has retired. Kobe retired. Lord rest his soul. Awesome basketball player. Great basketball player. But LeBron is still making his resume. The ink ain't dry on LeBron's resume. And here's one other thing I heard somebody say about Jordan. Well, if Jordan would have played 20 years, if he would have did this, if he would have did that, he would have 43,000 points. Maybe so. We'll never know. But even if he would have had 43,000 points or whatever the case may be, LeBron would still be on pace to pass that. Like, for real. He would still be on pace to pass that. Like I said, man, the ink ain't dry, man. He's still writing it. The story is still being written. And on that note, man, hats off to LeBron, man. Akron, Ohio. I never, up until probably a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, I was like, okay, he can probably get that. He can probably get that record. And it's done. That's why I think he's the GOAT. I think last night really cemented that. On top of a lot of the other things that he's accomplished. And I don't have a problem with you rocking with Jordan and saying he's the GOAT. That's your case. I don't think it's wrong. But I will say this. I don't think it's another player that has ever played the game of basketball that's on the same level as Jordan and LeBron. I don't. I think they are in a league of their own. I'll say that. And on that note, it's your boy 3000. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me how you feel about it. Is this one of the greatest moments of history for you? Or what is the greatest moment in sports for you? I think this tops it all. Especially as a kid having that much weight on you. Once again, it's your boy 3000 and your boy's out. Peace.